Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Scuffed Voice Podcast. Oh, I mean the Nyix Podcast, a Star Wars reference almost as obscure as this podcast. And have any of you seen what Twitch just did with their changes to the partner contract, allowing partners to now stream on other platforms besides Twitch? Kind of crazy.
Used a lot of high level words there.
Okay, sorry, let me bring it down. Oh my goodness, dude. It's getting worse, my voice.
You should have called it the General Grievous Podcast instead. Then it would have still been a Star Wars reference.
Oh, I missed it. No. Basically, for those of you who don't know, Twitch, once you get in the big leagues on Twitch, you can become a partner. Basically, you got to sign a contract and sell your soul to Twitch, and you used to have to stream like a ton of hours every year, and they were like, yeah, you got to do this for me or whatever.
That's when Twitch was the only streaming platform.
Yeah, that was when they were the top dog.
They could probably do whatever they wanted.
But since a lot of big streamers, as most of you have probably seen, have been moving over to YouTube, Twitch is starting to realize, maybe we got to switch things up.
I honestly think they're past the maybe we got to switch things up phase. I think they're in the end game now. Because
we're in the end game.
I think they hit the we got to switch things up phase right whenever YouTube started launching a lot more of their streaming stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we got to back off our aggressive tactics to force people to stream a whole bunch now and maybe give them a little more leeway to do what they want." I think they're in the end game now. Basically, what happened in simpler terms is previously when you signed a contract after you grew to a certain size, you could make extra money, right?
Yeah, the 70-30 split, basically, you got 70% of your subs and Twitch got 30%. As for affiliates, which are like the people who are smaller but still large enough, it was a 50-50 split.
Yeah, so you make a higher percentage of the money that's donated to you through subs and stuff.
But
basically
through that, you had to stream more.
Yeah, and you had to sign a contract which previously included exclusivity, meaning that you could not stream on any other platforms.
Yeah, regardless of anything.
That's the big change that they just made, is no longer do you have to be exclusive to their platform, which is an interesting move because why would they be dropping exclusivity except for that they're losing all their streamers?
Yeah, and it's definitely not because they think it's good for them in the long run, because as a business, when YouTube is starting to gain momentum and you're starting to lose your biggest streamers, the goal is not to allow them to leave even easier, like more easier, like whatever words, the goal is not to do that. So it's definitely not them looking in the future being like, how can we survive as a platform? It's them, how can we squeeze as much money as we can before we eventually get run out of room by YouTube gaming,
which I think is unfortunate, honestly, because Twitch does a lot more to support smaller streamers.
They really do.
Like, I don't know if you want to share some of your numbers because you kind of did like a smaller streaming thing, but like you actually were able to hit affiliate and start making money on the platform.
Yeah, I actually got 2 paychecks in like a year. Which, isn't crazy or anything. And payout, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is $100. So I was able to get 2 paychecks, only averaging like 3 to 6 viewers a stream. So it definitely was much nicer. Whereas on YouTube, in order to get monetized for streaming, it's the same monetization for their videos where you have to be like 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not sure if they need more in the sense of viewership and stuff. I don't know. I actually don't think YouTube even supports viewership to count towards your watch time, but because you have to get a certain amount of watch time in order to get monetized on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong because I don't stream on YouTube, but maybe I have to switch soon. So I don't know a ton about that, but it's definitely much easier to make money as a smaller creator than it is on YouTube. But I will say, as of right now, it's kind of nice for smaller partners that aren't as big as the big streamers, because they're able to like kind of experiment. And if like they eventually want to move to YouTube, or if they have a bigger Twitch audience that they're trying to get to their YouTube, it's much easier now because they don't have to have that exclusivity. But for the top top streamers, it's gonna be more of a pain. And honestly, they may not even want to swap over to YouTube until it's like the last second.
It depends really. Like I said, I think especially for the people that are more in the middle of the road, it's like it's a lot more difficult to want to switch over. But the ones that make a lot of money, I think, are the really big time streamers. And YouTube is just basically signing them all really big contracts with a whole bunch of money in it.
Yeah,
And
and
so I
Twitch
think
can't match it.
nope. I think long run, I think Twitch has realized that they've kind of lost this battle, which is unfortunate because competition in the space would be good. But it's really
Mhm.
YouTube is just squashing out Twitch at this point.
Yeah, and I mean that's the biggest thing is that even with Ludwig talked on his like streams and stuff, like the biggest reason he moved from Twitch to YouTube was YouTube gave a higher price. Twitch said they couldn't match it, so he moved over. So if Twitch says, "Hey, we're not going to even try to match it at all because we told you you can stream on YouTube all you want," those bigger streamers probably won't be getting the big bucks from YouTube to switch over, if any at all. To be completely honest, because there's not really an incentive for YouTube to like try to bring them over if they can just like with big money when they can just be like, hey, do you want like a few $1,000s and just come stream over here a little bit?
Yeah, I think what you were getting at there is that the reason why these big streamers were making so much money coming over to YouTube is because they had to break their contract with Twitch or like exit their contract with Twitch, I guess. And so
Yeah.
YouTube was paying them a bunch of money. So Twitch is trying to just basically prolong its own life by disincentivizing YouTube from paying them a bunch of money, which
Yeah.
I think is also damaging to the larger content creators that are making a lot of money, because now they're not going to be offered nearly as large contracts by YouTube. But it's like it's
Yeah.
really an end game move. Twitch is
But
just like
it's
I'm going to
it's
hold on to what
still
I've got
rude
as
as well.
long as I can.
Yeah. And I will say it's not good either way because you say, oh, well, I can make more just staying on Twitch and then kind of maybe going on YouTube a little bit
Mhm.
or whatever. But like their whole thing is you're going to stay on our platform until our platform doesn't exist anymore. And it doesn't really help the creators any.
It does.
Because like we mentioned earlier, even if you're a larger creator, it's still harder to be monetized on YouTube than it is on Twitch. And now I will say it's more consistent on YouTube, but it's not as much as if you were on Twitch.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a big difference between the two. So that's why a lot of Twitch streamers that were going to YouTube, they were getting the big payouts from YouTube because they were like, well, this makes up for the less monetization.
Yeah.
But now they don't have that.
And like I said, it's unfortunate just because I think Twitch did a better job of including the littler guys, getting you up and going, really being able to pay you for starting out, as opposed to YouTube. You've got kind of a big hill to climb before you can even start making money. So it's just like, I don't know. Hopefully some more competition pops up in the space, but we saw Mixer already died.
Yeah, Mixer died immediately. And then
Yep.
there's like Trovo and Brime, which nobody has used since like the early 2010s.
So it's just like
Like-
I think YouTube is winning out in this space, which is unfortunate in the long run, I think. But
Yeah, because
we'll
it's
see.
always nice to have competition. Who knows?
It is.
We had a very brief discussion. Maybe we'll start our own YouTube and we'll squash out
that's a-
YouTube.
lofty goal, but
What are you talking about? It's so easy.
we got a little bit more skills to learn before that. Speaking of skills, I started school this week.
You did start school this week.
I'm actually enjoying the classes, which is weird for once. But it's like, it's kind of what I've known I wanted to do for a while. It's weird because I actually want to do the homework because it's like, let's see what interesting problems they gave us this week.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I might. I need to get a new cable so bad. No, another thing about homework as well, and for me, I wouldn't necessarily say that my classes are like super fun in high school, but this semester I'm taking this semester off from doing concurrent enrollment. For those of you who don't know, that's basically just doing community college classes at the same time as doing high school classes. And immediately I'm noticing how much less homework I have. It's crazy how like little I have compared to how much I had last year. It's like I feel so liberated right now.
Yeah,
Like why would I ever want to do that again?
college is a little bit of a step up, but I think
Yeah.
once you hit the classes you actually enjoy, like last year for me, college was rough because it was like I hated all of it basically.
It
They were
was
like,
literally just stuff so that you could skip some classes in mines.
yeah, exactly. And now that I'm actually doing classes at Mines, like towards what I want to do in my career, I'm having a great time.
Also, mine's is just a pretty nice campus, isn't it?
It is. I've been loving the area. Get to walk around a lot more. It's honestly bigger than I imagined it would being. There's a lot of different buildings. Anyway.
Yeah, and they got volleyball over there.
Yeah. Maybe
For
I'm
those
gonna
of you-
be maybe
yeah.
I'm gonna be playing some rec volleyball with some guys there. I got
Mhm.
added to a group chat already.
Yeah, for those who don't know, because we've never talked about it once, me and BKP are big volleyball enjoyers.
Yes.
We like to do the volleyball.
Yep.
Another thing that you like to do that you just introduced me to, I mean, I knew about it, but like I hadn't done it in so long, was we went ice skating this past
Oh, yeah?
weekend.
That was really good fun.
That was really fun. I only fell comically once, but it was pretty funny.
Comically is the key word.
Yeah, it was like one of those cartoons. Like for like a good few seconds, I was just like going back and forth, waving my arms around, trying not to fall over, and then I eventually just slipped and fell on my back.
Yep. It was pretty funny.
That was good. No, but I had a ton of fun ice skating though. It was good fun. My feet had less fun, but you live and you learn and you get over it.
Yep.
But it is
Sure do.
definitely a fun experience. And we were also talking to some of our other friends, and maybe we'll have a decent group next time we decide to go.
Yeah, I
Depending
think
on who can make it over.
I'm trying to figure out more activities to do because it's like what I used to just do in my free time was play like a bunch of video games.
Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, recently I've been really struggling to try and play video games. I don't know. I've talked to a couple of different people, and maybe it's just kind of the age group I'm in, but it feels like a lot of people are just kind of getting bored of playing games all the time.
Yeah. I would also agree that I feel like I don't have as much fun with video games as I used to, because I used to, just all the time. Like that was the only thing I ever
Yeah.
did was just play video games. And I will say now and then I do like to play Phasmophobia with my friends or whatever, but like the key word is with my friends.
Yeah.
We're there to like all have a good time and like just get scared, laugh, just like just whatever. I'm not there because it's a game. I'm there because I want to play that game with my friends.
Yeah,
And it's the
hang out.
biggest thing. Yeah, hanging
But-
out is just the most fun thing. And that's another thing is that since I haven't been doing as much video games, I've been picking up some other hobbies as well, like obviously volleyball and maybe even ice skating now, because I actually did have a lot of fun when we went. But also for a while I've been picking up the guitar, and just recently as in last night, this is being recorded on Monday, August 29th, 2022. I picked up this guitar for free that didn't quite work, and so you and I are hopefully gonna try to fix it up.
Yeah,
Should be pretty fun.
kind of a part of our broader goal of widening our capabilities, repairing electronics, and building out our
Mhm.
own electronics.
Yeah,
Maybe video, maybe not. I don't know. Videos
Maybe.
are hard.
I don't know. I can't imagine that being worth being a video, but
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
I mean,
maybe-
we could reteach you how to solder since you scrapped the other one where I
Oh.
sort of taught you how to solder.
I'll throw it on TikTok. Everybody go follow me. Don't actually go follow my TikTok.
There you go. Make it a short form content.
Yeah. I'll put on my Instagram that I haven't touched since March of 2020.
Ouch.
I do have a personal Instagram. You're not allowed to know what that is, though. The 3 viewers that already know me in person. You're not allowed to know.
Not allowed to know.
No, not at all. But that is actually something I'm really excited about because I've never really messed with the internals of a computer, and you're pretty good at like knowing how to. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, I've been working with electronics
Electronics.
for a while now, so it's like,
Yeah. So I
applying
know
that knowledge to repairing is gonna.
I
be
know
fun.
how guitar work, and you know how electronic works. So with our
Together.
collected combined powers of knowing how something works,
we might
we
be
should
able to
be
make a
able.
guitar.
We might be able to do something. Which honestly, I don't think it should be the worst thing. It's just basically the volume knob is broken, and I think we just have to replace it and then solder it back up. And it's just all it is a hot lead and a ground going
Oh,
into
yeah.
wherever it goes.
Shouldn't be too hard.
No.
Assuming that's the problem. We may have more diagnostic to do after that.
Yeah, I do want to run a multimeter on the pickups. For those of you who don't know, pickups are just basically the thing that makes guitars make noise to make sure that they work.
Yeah.
And if they do, then that should be like one of our only issues.
And it'll actually be a fairly cheap repair for a free guitar. So
Yeah. That's the one thing I was hoping for. I was like, if this doesn't work, as long as it's something cheap, I'm willing to repair it because I don't really mind. And I did look up the part that we needed, and like everything I saw was between like $4 and $6. So it's it's reasonable.
No, that's a cheap part to replace for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
In other news, this is being recorded, like you said, on Monday, August 29th, and there was supposed to be a rocket launch today, which actually got scrubbed.
There was.
It's called the Artemis One Rocket. It's an interesting project. They're trying to go to the moon again, is their end goal, put people on the moon again. This first Artemis 1 is actually going to be uncrewed, which means there's going to be no people on it, but they're going to be trying to send it around the moon and just basically testing that everything works.
They're also going to send out a few satellites, right, as well, to like
I didn't see
track
that,
some stuff.
but it would not surprise me.
I
just because
saw that.
When you
I
spend,
looked it up on NASA.gov. Is
When
that
you
actually
spend-
what it is? Is it NASA.gov?
I think so. But when you spend,
NASA.gov.
several $1 billion on sending a rocket up, you might as well just throw some extra stuff on there since it's not
Yep.
actually
Let's
doing anything.
throw some
this
more
time.
space junk.
It's just like, just imagine. It's like, we're going to test our project. It's going to cost, what'd you say, something in the order of like $50 billion.
Something like that. It's a lot. I think they're over budget and over time is what they were saying. Like
That's
this
a
was expected
specialty-
to be like done way earlier.
That's the specialty of Lockheed Martin, going over budget and over time. Which they're the ones that they're the ones that designed the space shuttle. It's called the Orion capsule, which they were probably over budget and over time. NASA was actually the one that designed the rocket, so this is kind of a cool little collaboration between a couple of different groups. But I think the implications of this mission are very interesting. Their end goal with the Artemis project is to put people on the moon, like long term.
Oh my goodness. The Artemis program is expected to have an ultimate price tag of $93 billion.
Ouch.
That is a decent amount of money, I'm not going to lie.
Taxpayer dollars at work.
Yep. All of us get to send people to space. So if someone ever asks if you've gone to space, you can say no, but I've invested in it.
Assuming you pay taxes.
That's true. See, guys, this is an incentive to pay your taxes because you can say you've invested in space travel.
Indirectly.
And no, we don't mention that part because then it doesn't sound as cool.
Yeah.
This is this podcast has secretly been sponsored by the IRS. Pay your taxes
Pay
today.
your taxes. Yeah. I don't know. I think the implications are pretty cool that they're trying to actually put people on the moon long term. They're going to try and like mine the moon dirt. I forget what they call it. I think it's like regolith or something like that. That's what they call it. But they're going to try and mine it to produce their own resources and like grow their own food and stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty wild.
You just like roll a d20 on your desk or something.
No, somebody dropped something above me.
Oh, okay. So random. It's like you
I
just got
know.
a d20 hanging around.
Other cool stuff. They actually have a replica of this spacecraft
They
out here at
do?
the Lockheed Martin campus. Remember I was pointing out that big building to you, the Waterton campus? I believe that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
they have in there.
Really?
Yep.
I want to see it.
Me
Can I
too,
go see
but
it?
Probably not.
Can I just walk up and to the gate and say, "Hey, can I go see the replica space rocket?"
Probably not.
Why wouldn't they let me?
Because they actually use it for like testing, for like training crews and like testing stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna go in it. I just want to look at it.
I don't think that would work out. but you could
Listen,
try.
I can't go to Kennedy Space, whatever it's called.
The other cool thing I saw is that they're actually trying to send like Alexa, the Amazon Alexa. They're doing a collaboration with a couple of different companies and they're sending an Alexa type thing, and it was funny because the way they phrased it in the article I read was that they're sending it to help astronauts communicate with the spacecraft.
You know what that sounds like to me?
I was going to say, I don't know if you've ever,
2001: A Space Odyssey.
I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. If you haven't, I don't know if I would recommend watching it because it's kind of wacky.
It
If
is a
you're
little
nerdy,
wacky.
If you're nerdy, it's cool, but it's a really long movie because it's an older movie. I think it came out, what was
Yeah.
it, like in the 50s or the 60s?
It also doesn't like entirely make sense.
It
in my
doesn't
opinion.
entirely. The ending makes no sense to me.
There's like AIs and monoliths and like just random stuff is like what's happening.
It's a wacky movie.
It
But
is wacky, but it's fun. It's fun.
the part we're referencing is there's a robot that's controlling the spacecraft that these gentlemen are traveling on, and the robot is called HAL 9000. And as a part of this weird twisted plot, this robot that they're working with like locks them out of the spacecraft.
And then he goes, "Open the door, Hal," and he's like, "I'm sorry, I can't do that." I don't remember the line.
He said, "Open the door, Hal." And Hal, the robot, responds, "I'm sorry, Dave. I cannot do that."
And then does he die? I don't even remember.
I don't remember, dude. It's a wacky plot.
Okay, that's
but
fine. We don't want to spoil it anyways.
I thought it was hilarious that they're like sending an AI up to help the astronauts communicate with the spacecraft.
Maybe 2001: A Space Odyssey was, more accurate than we thought.
Maybe it was 2021: A Space Odyssey.
I don't know. My echo's always listening to me, so I don't want to say anything too bad, too damaging. Because what if I'm in a spacecraft with an echo on it and then I just die?
That brings
I
up.
remember what you said to me.
Okay. I was gonna say that brings up an interesting question though. Would you go to space?
Absolutely, unequivocally, undeniably, no.
He's like, I thought you were gonna think about it at least, but just straight up no.
No, it's terrifying to me. It is genuinely terrifying being in the empty vacuum of space, and if anything goes wrong, you're just out there until you die.
It is the
That
most
sounds
rigorous engineering
Absolutely
challenge.
terrifying. I would love to send people to space, like in a good way, obviously. We don't want any deaths here, but I would never be one to go to space.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it either. Just like it's too much risk, and it's like it's
It
cool
is.
and all that people are trying to do it, and it's like they want to actually like live on the moon, and it's really funny because I think by like 2024, I think they said they want to send a crewed Orion space capsule just like around the moon,
Yeah.
and then Artemis 3, the following mission, they're actually going to land people on the moon, and they're going to be trying to set up like a base camp, which is
Yeah.
absolutely wacky to me.
That's so weird. Although
The
I
end
was listening to a thing and they're like our end goal. I think they originally were like, we want this Artemis 3 up by like 2025, and they were like, yeah, we might push that back a little bit.
Yeah, they've already delayed Artemis 1 a lot. I mean, they were trying to launch it today, which is the 29th, and they were having problems.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues. Well, not a lot of issues. There was like one major issue.
People suspect hydrogen leak, which means that the engines aren't getting cooled. And if the engines aren't getting cooled, that
They
would
blow
mean
up.
that would mean they would blow up.
It'd be another I don't even remember what
I think
spacecraft blew
Apollo
up.
12, I think.
Was it 12?
But that one was actually crewed. At least this one would have no people on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've learned our lesson, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, this one they're at least testing before they put people on it.
Yes.
But like their goals are pretty cool, They want to start reusing spacecraft, put people out there, make them set up a camp. And they're saying it's interesting because like we obviously have people living in space already on the space station,
Yeah.
but the article I was reading was saying that that's about a 6-hour journey from Earth to the space station. So it's
Mhm.
like you run out of water. It's like cool, we can send some more up real quick.
Mhm.
They're saying to the moon it's a 6-week trip.
Yeah.
So
So
if you
if you run out of water, you
oops, I forgot
die.
some water.
they'll be like, "Don't worry, we'll be up there. Just hold out for 6 weeks."
Yeah, right. Then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I feel like some people don't realize how far the moon really is away from the Earth.
Well, their end goal, like Lockheed Martin's big thing is called Mars Base Camp,
Mhm.
and it's like, yes, the moon is really far away. So like that's like a 6-week trip. I think they were saying it's like a 6-month trip to Mars.
Yeah, to Mars. So definitely don't run out of water there. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I get it. Like, it'd be cool to like move to other planets or whatever. But like, I don't know about you, but I would hate to live on Mars. You know how bland it is. I just stare it out at the redness for
I
the rest
think-
of my days.
I think there would never be a dull day.
I think there would always be a dull day.
No, because like literally you'd be problem solving the entire time you're there, because if anything goes wrong and you don't immediately fix it, you're just toast.
That sounds actually terrible. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say it would
guess
be
I'll just
fun.
go die.
I didn't say it would be fun. I just said there would never be a dull day.
Can we just go terraform Venus?
Psh, they're trying to terraform Mars first, but
Yeah, I feel like good luck with that, buddy. I don't know.
yeah, no, I wouldn't do it either. And I think that's an interesting question to ask people because I think, like, if you ask younger kids if they would go to space, I think a lot of them would say yes. And if you ask people like probably our age and older, a lot of them are gonna say no.
Mhm.
Just because as a kid, it's really easy to dream about going to space and what you would do in space and why you'd want to go to space.
Yeah.
Once you hit our age, you kind of realize the risks definitely kind of outweigh the rewards, at least in our opinions.
Yeah, like there are some people that are adventurous and they totally think it's worth it. You know, we're gonna better mankind. We're gonna we're gonna stretch out across the stars. We're gonna be so awesome and cool. But honestly, I'd like to stretch out across my bed.
I mean, I don't know. I think, like I said, it's easier for somebody that's younger to imagine going to space. I can't imagine. I'd love to work on a space program, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's what I was saying.
I think it's entirely possible that in our lifetime we will see people go to Mars, which is
Yeah.
just crazy to think
Which is
about.
weird.
But I think it's possible.
I wouldn't. Oh yeah, 100%. There are some people. I know some people. I actually have my grandmother, who believes the moon landing was fake. Not my grandmother that you know. She's my great grandmother, and she's like, the moon landing didn't happen, and I was like, okay, sure, bud.
Conspiracy theories are hilarious to me.
Dude, I love conspiracy theories. Like, I don't agree with you, but please tell me all about it so I can disagree with you.
I mean, I don't like it from an argumentative standpoint because it makes me frustrated when I try and argue with people like that. Because honestly, what it comes down to a lot of times in conspiracy theories is like having no trust in literally anything.
Yeah.
It's like if you ask them questions and you like present them with information, it's like, how do you trust that source? It's like, I don't know. Do you trust anybody?
Yeah.
It's like,
like, why don't you believe that? Well, because the government is,
the
it's
government's lying.
It's lying about everything. And like, listen, I mean, there are some people that think the government is awesome and you need help. But I feel like we can't all just be like, government is so bad, they hate everything and everybody and they lie all the time.
I'm definitely a libertarian, and I think that sometimes politicians are definitely in it for their own good, which is damaging to society as a whole.
Oh, yeah, of course, politicians, but I wouldn't say the government as a whole. It's just like,
I agree, and I think that
all.
there comes a point where you have to trust certain systems, right? It's like if you have no trust in anything, it's like you cannot live in a civilized society.
Yeah.
It's just like it just doesn't work, you know.
Yeah,
you
have
need to
have
go.
a little bit
You need
of
to go.
trust.
Got to go buy 100 acres in Utah and like dig a hole in the ground and just stay there, because like
Yeah.
you can't trust anybody. You know, that's the only way you can live.
I feel like that's how a lot of conspiracy theorists are, though. Like, really deep ones. They're just like, they don't have
That's-
enough human interaction.
Yeah.
That's their issue.
I think that's possibly the case because I do think it tends to align, like the population of people that are conspiracy theorists does tend to align, unfortunately, a lot with elderly folks,
Yeah.
people that are generally lonely. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
people that don't have a whole lot of interaction and
The
just
government
have
gave
no
me
trust for
my depression.
Yeah. The government, man, they're trying to make me buy pills.
The government and their 5G towers, they're making me depressed.
They're making me depressed. Yeah, it's kind of sad to see, honestly. I mean, like
Yeah.
you said, it's kind of funny to hear some of the wild stuff that they come up with.
Yeah.
But it is honestly sad to see somebody, especially when it does come down to like that loneliness. It's like you need a little bit of Jesus in your life.
Yes. Seriously. You need help.
Yeah.
No,
And
there,
like I
I was gonna say an example of like old people seem to have like the craziest stuff. There was this one flat earther who like was creating his own rockets and launching himself into like the atmosphere to prove that the earth wasn't round. And also he definitely saw that it was round if he got high enough. You don't even have to get that high to realize that it's round.
Yeah.
But I remember there his parachute failed that he made, like homemade parachute, and he like almost died and like broke a bunch of bones.
At least he
Like,
survived.
and I'm like, why, man? Why? Is it really worth that much to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about. There's some cool stuff I kind of want to do involving rocketry and myself. Like I don't know. Estes rockets are just really fun. Get out there and like shoot off a rocket. Have you ever done an Estes rocket?
Um, I've never done rockets.
So okay, Estes rockets are super cool. I did it actually in elementary school. I think everybody
Yeah.
should have a chance to do it. But basically, it's like model rocketry, and it's kind of a nerdy thing too.
Yeah, but
like,
I will admit, it's cool. It's cool.
Usually, you buy a kit, and you get to build this rocket, and then there's like a launch pad, and you take it out in like a big field. Usually, you try and go when there's not a whole lot of people around in case your parachute fails. But you go out in like a big field, and you just you put these little rocket engines in there that they sell, and they're actually not terribly priced. You can buy like a kit for like $30, right?
Yeah.
And then you go out there and you get these. There's these. The whole ignition thing is super fun. It's like you put the igniter in the back of the rocket, and there's just like you got to push the key down and hold the key in place, and then you push the launch button.
Oh, it's like push the red button, put in the key.
No, there's no red buttons, unfortunately. It's all safety orange.
Oh, that's so lame.
It's all
I'll paint
safety
it
orange.
red. I'll paint it red.
There you go. But you gotta like push a key in and hold it in place, and then push the launch button.
That's fun.
And then it just takes off and shoots into the air, and then just pops a parachute and floats back down. But it's super cool. And actually, some friends of mine designed and built their own rocket. They 3D printed a rocket, and I wish I was more involved in that project because it sounds super sweet.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
And I was supposed to design some electronics to put on the rocket so we could like take measurements of stuff, like how high it went and how fast it was going and stuff. And I just never did it. Which is so sad because it was like that's such a cool project to be a part of.
Did they end up launching it or?
Oh yeah, they launched it.
Yeah,
they launched it a couple of times, I think, actually, because they launched it. They launched it the first time, I think, and then their parachute deployment actually failed, which is why you got to be kind of careful where you launch it, because then you gotta, usually they're not that heavy, but they're moving fast enough that it'll definitely hurt to get hit by.
Yeah.
And then I think they actually redesigned a couple of systems, or the parachute deployment system, and then launched it again more successfully. But
nice.
He actually designed it to be modular, so that way he could swap out modules for when I built the electronics, and I just never did.
And you never did. Terrible friend. Yeah, and now he's in California.
He is. It's so sad. But that's a project. Hopefully, I want to get back involved with that. That's just like rocketry. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just a nerd, but rocketry is super cool.
I don't know. Rockets are cool. I feel like I'm too lazy to do it, though.
I don't know. I think we could do it.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. If I had someone who knew what they were doing, I'd do it. But if I was like, I could do this on my own, I could not.
Saying I know what I'm doing might be an exaggeration because like in elementary school, I like built a kit rocket and we like took it out on like a field trip, went to the park, and like we all launched our rockets, right? And they let us hit the ignition button, whatever. But it was like, they set everything up basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you're in elementary school.
Several years later, I think I was in 6th or 7th grade, I bought a launch pad and I bought rocket kit. And so I got all this stuff and I put it all together and I went out to the field and I put my igniter in and I pushed the button and nothing happened. And I was like, didn't know what was going on, put a different igniter in, thought maybe the igniter was broken.
Nothing.
Pushed the button. The igniter burned, but no rocket, no launchy. I think I tried one time I tried burning the igniter outside the rocket just to make sure it was burning. And then I tried one more time and then I gave up. So I've never successfully launched a rocket on my own.
Oh.
Which is kind of sad because I've got a bunch of engines and I've got the launch pad and I've got a rocket built and I've got a couple more kits that I could build and put together.
Now I gotta prove that I'm the better rocketer.
The better rocket launcher. I don't even know what the title would be.
Rocket launcher is a different thing.
Oh, you're right. Rocket launcher is different. That's funny.
I'm the best rocket launcher. No.
But that's totally something that I would enjoy doing. Maybe we get a bunch of people together and go out and do that too.
That's true.
Just going to the park and launching rockets would be super fun. I don't know.
Let's yeah.
And that costs about the same as all the other activities we're talking about doing, kind of in the $10 range.
Yeah.
At least for the engines. If you buy the rocket kit, you're gonna end up spending more like $30 to build your own rocket. But like, I don't know.
We just 3D print it.
You
Because we're
can.
that good. Because we're that good.
I would have to steal some designs though. I would not.
Yeah,
Well,
you'd
I
have-
know how to do the math to design my own now, but like it's a lot. It's intensive.
Oh, I don't know how you. I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard, but a parachute deployment system just seems like a lot of work.
It's actually
Like
surprisingly
getting it
easy
to
for the
work.
parachute
Oh,
deployment.
really?
Yes, assuming. Well, okay. It's difficult. It's easy to design, difficult to like make it work, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like basically the way it works is the rocket engine just fires a big pulse backwards, like up the rocket, right? And so you
Yeah.
just have to make usually the nose cone just pops off and the parachute comes out.
Yeah.
But like if you design the channel wrong to do that, it's like, well,
Oh, it's just
that
gonna
pulse,
fall.
it's just gonna fall, and
It's just
you'll
gonna
probably,
fall.
if it's 3D printed, you'll probably shatter a big chunk of your rocket.
Yeah. Is that what happened to them, or did they get lucky?
I think they got lucky, and it landed first in grass, and second it landed on like a fin, so it just cracked one of the fins off, and they were able to replace that fairly easily instead
Okay.
of landing on like a body part where they had to just replace a big chunk of the rocket.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah,
I know. Aerospace. It's cool.
that's what I want to do one day, man.
Electrical engineer going into aerospace.
Yep, that's the end goal.
Does that transfer? Is that how that works?
Yeah, actually,
Wow.
speaking more generally, I actually wanted to get my aerospace degree initially, and I talked
Yeah.
with some people that work in aerospace, and they were like, you should pick a more general degree, and if you pick a more general degree, it's still applicable to aerospace, and you know, if you decide you end up not liking aerospace, you can still work in other stuff, which like
I think that's the biggest thing. Like we were also mentioning, like instead of becoming like a petroleum engineer, you become like a chemical engineer, and you can still go into petroleum.
Yeah.
It's
And
better
then-
to just do like something more general, and then you can narrow it down, like eventually.
And that's a broader philosophy topic, right? I am more of a generalist
Yeah.
personally. I like to be decently good at a lot of different things, so that way I've just got a lot
Yeah.
of skills for a lot of different jobs. There are people, I will say though, the one like downfall of that philosophy is that I will probably never be like the best at anything, right?
Yeah. Which
Is like
in your field, it's not necessarily required for you to be the best. You just need to be good.
yeah. And I mean, you know, I can focus up and get pretty good at, you know, electrical engineering and stuff. But like
Yeah.
the people that are like the best, you know, like the brilliant people, you know, like the crazy physicists and stuff that have their names in all the history books. It's
Mhm.
like they pick one very specific thing and they spend their whole life studying that.
Yeah.
It's like I just couldn't do that.
So I will say one thing, and obviously I would love to be a popular content creator, but I've never aimed, and I still don't ever aim to try to be in the history books. That's not really appealing to me. I don't want to be like, I mean, I don't want to be forgotten, but I don't want to be like remembered as like some like, look at this guy, he was so cool and awesome. No, he was a human. Chill. All right.
Yeah. That's what I figure too, is I don't especially care about being, you know, remembered. That's not a huge deal to me.
I
But
just want my family to know who I was and
True.
friends.
I think though I stand behind the generalist philosophy, because if I can be good at a lot of things, then it's like I will have useful skills in
Mhm.
most situations.
And there are some things for me, I agree with that mostly, but there are some things where I'd like to be really good at this and then decently good at some other things. Like there are some things I want to focus in on, but like that's not my only thing that I
Yeah.
can do.
That's what I'm saying, right? And it's just like the difference is the people that are like brilliant and absolutely amazing. It's like they do one thing and
Yeah.
they're just exceptional at that one thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Generalist over here.
Big
I-
general guy.
I heard another podcast talking about that. I thought that was interesting. I think they came to the same conclusion, basically, that they would prefer to be generalists and kind of have a lot of different
Jack of all
skills.
trades, master of none.
Jack of all trades, yeah.
Master of none. You can't forget that. It makes it sound better.
I don't know if it makes it sound better. Definitely makes it sound less appealing.
No, but I don't know. You can just say jack of all trades, like jack of all trades, master of none. It just, it sounds nicer.
Anyhow.
You know, you know what I'm saying. You know,
No.
I'm right. You know. I don't know, man. I don't think science is for me. I do not dislike it, but like I don't like it enough to study it, I'd say.
No, I don't know. I think it's interesting that we ended up together, just because it's like we're so wildly different in a lot of that
Yeah.
regard.
Though when we first met, I was gonna be a comp sci major, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I fit in with the comp sci's, unfortunately. There's a little bit of a stigmatism around comp sci's that
Comp
they
sci's aren't that bad, man. I don't
I don't know.
understand.
They're pretty famous for never showering or changing clothes. So
I am not one of those. Like I'm saying, like I'm not one of those comp sci people.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not saying I'm not a comp sci, although I probably won't do comp sci. Right now I'm heavily like going towards more musical stuff, but like at the same time there's so much to do. Like there's so
Honestly,
much.
honestly, there's a lot of overlap with like electrical engineering and like music stuff, right?
Really.
If you want to design like sound equipment, that's like a whole sub branch of electrical engineering. Where
Yeah.
it's like you focus on audio equipment, right? Because it's like
Mhm.
there's a lot of
Wait, wait. At Mines, can
I
I
don't know.
become an electrical engineer and do sound equipment?
You probably could. There's not like a specific like degree for it. Like they have areas of emphasis at mines, basically is what they call it.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's like subfields, but for
Is that one
sure,
of them?
audio engineering, no, it doesn't get that specific. But like I tried messing around with a couple of audio projects, and I was like, man, I'm in over my head.
Yeah. Dude, audio is insane.
It
Like
is.
genuinely. Like I was thinking, like if I decide to go to the Berklee School of Music, which is where I was thinking of going for college, if I do want to do musically stuff, I wouldn't even maybe necessarily go to be like, yeah, I'm going as a guitar major because that's like cringe. I'd probably be like, let me do some sound engineering and one or two guitar classes on the side, as like an elective.
Yeah, I mean, sound engineering. I don't exactly know what all that entails. I'm assuming that means like mixing and mastering,
Yeah,
right?
that's more on music production side, though you do get into a bit of like how microphones work and like, how sound waves, do things. So I think you can get to the point where kind of enough to develop your own stuff, but not quite enough.
Yeah, I think the problem is if you're approaching it from that angle, you're more looking at how do I take best advantage of the gear that I have instead of how do I make my own better gear, right?
Yeah, which to be fair, it's not always about making your own gear, but it would be cool to design my own microphone. I think that'd be awesome.
It would be cool.
It would be cool.
That's definitely more electrical engineering than sound engineering, though.
Yeah, well, mine's just not for that, so you can't convert me.
I don't know, man.
Hey, you got like 2 years to convert me.
I got 2 years to make
You
an
got
EE major.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think EE is just a good field to go into for me because I love working with electronics. I like building stuff. And no matter what I decide to do, aerospace, audio equipment, I don't know. I thought about maybe even doing like consulting for small businesses. So that way they can just
Yeah.
like bring like their electronics ideas to me and I'll be like, yeah, I could build that for you.
That sounds like such a boring job, though.
What do you mean? That sounds so fun.
That sounds so boring. Not even gonna lie. Not even joking. That's cringe, bro.
That's what I want to do, though. What I want to do.
You're cringe.
I'm fortunate enough to have found what I want to do, and that is it.
Oh man, you gotta reconsider. Just like you're trying to make me reconsider my choices.
Too late for me, unfortunately.
Ah.
I'm already having too much fun doing this.
Well, I'm not asking you to stop being an EE. I'm telling you to not consult other people.
Oh, do consulting? Well, I gotta get experience before I can do consulting, anyways. So I'll have a lot of time to think about
I
that.
don't know. What are you
but
talking about? Just go on Indeed and be like, hey, I have no experience. Want to hire me?
I will build electronics. $5.
I will build electronics, and they may or may not suck.
It might work. It
Work
might not.
experience. I did like 3 projects in college.
I built a thing.
I built a few things in college that were not meant to ever see the light of day. Just give me a grade.
I don't know. I mean, some of my stuff we're trying to make videos on, so it's like they're seeing the light of day, sorta.
Yeah.
My first project was not so good though. So I gotta actually make a second one if we're gonna.
Are you talking about the video that you already have up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that sucked.
It
Like, let's
did.
just be real.
It did. I'm not gonna disagree for sure.
But it was still fun, and I stand by that.
It was fun to make, yeah. It's just like, I don't know, if we're gonna start trying to hang out with people more on the weekends,
Yeah.
it's like, and if I'm gonna start probably a new job, then it's like, I don't know how much time we're gonna have to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it definitely takes like a whole day to knock that kind of project out.
I think I seriously need to get like my own soldering tools and stuff.
Yeah, since I won't be able to help you as much.
Because even if it's just like we're both on a call and like I'm just like we're just working or whatever, but it's still on a call, I can be like, hey, what's up with this?
Yeah. I'm gonna be picking and choosing my activities, unfortunately. Just the
Yeah.
reality of being in college and working
Yeah.
and
And trying to
do other stuff.
have it. I don't know. I can't fault you as well for preferring social life over doing projects all the time.
I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be good to have a good mix. It's just like I've gotten into the habit of hanging out on the weekends.
Yeah, and it's although I will say volleyball will be ending on Sundays probably by like October or whatever.
Yeah, but like also if we start doing like ice skating on the weekends and stuff, it's like
So hear me out. I go over Saturday morning and we work all day.
I'll probably
And
be
then-
working on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, so I'll come over and you are gone and I'll work in your basement
In my lab.
in your lab and then you get back and then we finish up and then we go ice skating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun to me.
The foolproof.
I can't just let you into my basement probably though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not without supervision with all of my tools. There's too many things down here that you could hurt yourself and or burn down the house with.
Come on. I know how to relatively take care of things.
I don't know. There's still a lot of tools you haven't seen.
Then teach me. I will be your Padawan. Teach me, master, and then I will become my own knight. My own Jedi
Your
Knight.
own soldering knight. I think
I'll
you would
become
enjoy
else.
electrical
Yeah.
engineering, I'm being honest.
Maybe after we do some projects, I'll think about it.
You'll think about it some more.
I'll
I've been
think
trying to
about it.
I've been trying to push you to do all of the legwork. First because then you learn how to do it, and second because then I don't have to do it.
Yeah, but you can't just force it on me after I've done one small project with you.
It's you're starting to you're picking up stuff here and there.
Do you know how slowly I'm picking up stuff here and there? I'm like moving
I'm
2
not-
inches an hour.
I'm not saying you're going to be doing the next project on your own. I'm saying you're doing more of the next project than I did of the last one.
You're forcing me.
Yeah.
Also, the last one was technically a birthday gift,
True.
and we still haven't programmed it.
That's why I paid for all the components.
We still haven't programmed it.
That's honestly the best kind of gift in my opinion. Is like the one where you just like buy components for a project, and like it was even better that I got to like teach you how to do all the stuff. It was
Yeah.
like, now for your birthday I'm buying you something and I'm teaching you stuff. And it's like, you know,
Yep.
it's just cool. It's cool.
And then for my next birthday, I expect. Hold on, what do I expect? PlayStation 5.
PS5.
And then you'll teach me how to install better memory on it.
Better memory.
This is something I already know how to do.
I was gonna say you already know how to do that. It's like the worst gift. It's like we're already talking about how we don't play very many
Yeah,
games.
no, I
anymore.
wouldn't
It's
use
like,
it once. I was just trying to think of anything that's like mildly expensive. I almost said you'd get me a car, but I was like, no, that's too much.
Unfortunately, I am still poor college student.
Get me a remote controlled car. Give me an RC car.
An RC car. There you go.
Yeah.
You can go down to Walmart and pick one of them up for $15.
Yes. And then we can go vroom vroom around the neighborhood.
Or, hear me out.
Yep.
We could spend $40 on components and build an RC
And,
car.
oh, that actually would be fun. That's totally a project. Building an RC car, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
And we could 3D print it so it doesn't suck.
Oh yeah, and we're both kind of working on a 3D modeling, so that would be a tough
Yeah.
project, a challenge.
That would be a bit of a challenge because I can't draw things that have like slightly organic shapes.
Things that aren't boxes with holes in them.
Yeah. If you think about it, it's just like boxes and triangles and half circles.
Yep. Yeah, especially if you make like a Cybertruck.
We could totally make a Cybertruck. That'd be so fun.
RC Cybertruck.
Yeah, it'll run on batteries too.
And now that I've got a lathe, I can like make some of the parts, like turning shafts and stuff for the wheels.
Oh yeah.
That's all stuff we can do now.
What if we just make it all out of metal?
It'd be a pretty heavy car. Although I guess if we use like aluminum, it wouldn't be too bad. But CNC is hard.
Also, I don't know if it would necessarily be much stronger than like 3D printing. I mean, it would be, but like, is it enough to be worth it?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
If you did it out of metal, it'd because you thought metal was cool.
Yeah, well, it's a Cybertruck. I guess we could totally just paint it gray and then add a polish to it. You know?
All those really high dollar RC cars, though, they have like ultralight like frames. Not frames, but like bodies.
They go faster.
Well, they go like 80 miles an hour, but like they have like ultralight bodies.
Dude,
right?
I don't actually know anything about RC cars. They go 80 miles an hour.
Oh, the expensive ones do, yeah.
That's gonna break my shins if I stand in front of it.
Oh, yeah. But like they have like ultralight bodies, right? Like the bodies are like, I don't know, like do you know, I'm trying to think of what a good comparison would be. Like clamshell plastic.
What?
Like I'm trying to think of what a good example
I gotta
would be.
look this up now. Clamshell? Dude, what is that?
Think like a plastic water bottle type thickness, except for like more durable, right? So slightly thicker because it wouldn't like crumble that fast.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really light. So like even 3D printing would be pushing it. I think that would have to be a project we'd have to probably try and learn carbon fiber for.
What? I mean, carbon fiber is pretty cool though.
But we could 3D print the mold if we design the body and then just turn it into a negative. 3D print the mold and then carbon fiber body.
Dude,
that would be cool.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Nice. I've been wanting to get into. That's another one of those things that's on my list.
RC cars,
not RC cars.
No.
Carbon fiber.
Oh, you know, get this carbon fiber.
Because carbon fiber is cool stuff.
Carbon fiber has carbon in it.
Yeah, in fibers.
And fibers.
Believe it or not.
Together.
But the
And
process is
nice.
actually surprisingly easy. It comes in like a flexible weave, and then you just like pour resin over it.
Yeah.
And you can make very durable, very light stuff.
Carbon fiber is not that cheap though, right?
No, it's definitely not cheap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like we could
But
also
it
add,
looks
if we started doing carbon fiber, we could also like
cool.
build RC car.
Dude, making our own drone, and then we could be like those advertisements you get on YouTube where it's like this college student is causing an uproar in the drone industry with a drone better than the top of the line for $20.
Yeah,
and then you get it, and then you're like, oh, this was a scam. And it's like, yeah,
complete garbage.
but
I actually
ours
looked.
won't be.
I actually looked into making my own racing drone, and that was a little more than I'm willing to spend on a project. It comes out to me in like $150.
Oh yeah, drones are not cheap. I think I actually got a racing drone. I don't think it's like a expensive one, but I got one for Christmas, and it is still sitting in my closet. I haven't touched it.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Does it have a camera on it?
I don't know.
There's cool stuff you can do with drones, though. Like
It's funny. I got
like,
that. Sorry, I got that from my aunt's Chemical Tailor, and I haven't touched it. And then this last Christmas, they got me like a $10 marquee box, and I use it literally in all my videos and streams.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
funny.
that marquee in the back.
That's
like
funny.
the $10 super cheap thing, I use more than like the drone.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta send people pictures of projects I've made using the stuff that they've bought me, so that way they know I'm like doing stuff with it. Cause like I've done some cool stuff. Like all the parts I use, a lot of the parts I used for my upcoming project that I might do a video on, most of those people bought for me.
Did you send me a picture of the tough PLA
The tough PLA.
filament that I got you?
No.
Wow.
No, I didn't, because I paid for that. But
I already saw what you used it for anyway. So.
that's true. You were there.
Did I ever refund you, by the way?
What?
Because you gave me extra and I had to pay you back.
I don't remember.
I think I did. I think I did.
I think so too. I think.
And if I didn't, I don't want to.
Yeah, I know.
But I think I did.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that.
Yep.
Yep.
But that's some interesting projects possibly coming down the pipe. Then I don't know. Have to save up some money for some of those. I think an RC car, it's gonna be around a similar price. Unfortunately, I think like if we make like a cheap one, like a low end one, we could get it done for like, I don't know, $30 to $50.
Yeah.
But like if we want to make it go fast, like 80 miles an hour, it's gonna be like $100, $150.
Yeah,
Which is extremely good relative to the ones that are like actually on the market.
Yeah.
Like if you go pick up a decent Traxxas, which Traxxas is just like the name brand in RC cars, it's like $300. Because I almost bought one. I almost bought one at one point.
Really?
I did. I thought long and hard
Just
about
for
it.
it to sit in your basement.
Exactly. I'm glad I came to my senses before I wasted that much money on something I would use twice.
Yeah. You know what I didn't waste money on?
What's that?
An Apple Watch.
And an Apple Watch.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ben is a mega Apple hater.
I'm an Apple hater.
Which is funny because he owns an Apple iPad.
I actually love my iPad.
I know the Apple hater has learned that Apple products are good, and he's gotten it's like a Darman video. Apple hater says Apple's bad, then gets iPad gets destroyed.
I stand by all of my critiques of Apple. The software, too locked down, very simple. But I will say this. Their integration, their ecosystem and integration is very, very good. So like I got an iPad for I got an iPad over the summer. I decided to go ahead and just do it. It took a lot of convincing from people that are big Apple fans.
I tried to convince you not to do it.
Did you really? I don't even remember that.
Remember? No, I wanted you to get the camera.
Oh, that's right. But I got an iPad and I use it every day for school now to take notes and stuff on because I got it with an Apple Pencil, and I am thoroughly impressed.
Yeah. No, and I completely agree with all your critiques except for like I just don't care and I just buy into their stuff anyways.
He's locked into the ecosystem.
And I don't regret it. I got an iPhone, I got AirPods, I got an Apple Watch, and maybe eventually a MacBook.
Wake up, sheeple.
I don't know, man. The new M1 chips are pretty nice.
They really are.
Yeah.
The new MacBooks are sweet, dude.
Like, genuinely.
If I didn't want to do anything with my laptop, I would buy a MacBook.
Yeah, and I feel like, wow. I would say that the biggest appeal for me is if I do end up getting into like mixing and mastering and music production at some point, I would like a more productivity sided thing. Also, Logic is only available on Apple products.
I don't know.
It's a very good software.
It is. I struggle with stuff like that. That's like locked down to one software like that, just because it's
to
like.
be fair, it's Apple's software. So
isn't like Pro Presenter 7 also only Apple?
What's Pro Presenter?
That's like the church like presentation software that does like slides and lyrics and stuff.
Oh, let me look.
I think that one's also Apple only, and it's like I go back and forth because they make really good software, but at the same time, like I feel like I can't do anything else with that computer.
Yeah.
Because I actually owned a MacBook while I was in middle school, and it was great for me in middle school because, you know, all I did was get on, you know, launch Google Docs and do my schoolwork. But now that I like do more stuff, and don't get me wrong, MacBooks are pretty decent for like coding and stuff, but like, you know, I had a friend when I was in high school. We did like a cybersecurity thing, and he had a MacBook, and it worked pretty good, but it's just like he had to do a lot more work to get a lot of the tools to work, right? And so since I'm into that whole cybersecurity thing, it's like Linux is just my home. And like right now, the new M1 chips, you can't actually install Linux on them. They're working on cracking it because people like the M1 chips, but you just can't right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because I was watching, you know, Linus Tech Tips, greatest tech YouTuber of all time. No questions. He was talking about the M1 chip and how it's just like changing the game, like in the computer space. It's also on their
Yes.
it's also on their iPads though too. So
Yeah, I have that one in my iPad, and I love it.
And it's fast. Your iPad is fast. Like it's so good for even CAD. Like the CAD software we have isn't like crazy or anything, but it runs so smooth on an iPad. You know,
Yeah.
it is like awesome. No, but Linus X was talking about it, and he was saying that like Intel and AMD also have the capabilities to make like chips similar, and they're just like, nah, we're good.
Well, okay. So what he was talking about was the architecture.
Yeah.
So it's ARM based is what it's called, and this is getting very deep into the computer stuff.
This is
but
really deep, but it's
this
okay.
is like an important clarification. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's
I
ARM
was
based.
trying to simplify it, but okay, you know, go and clarify.
It's just basically a different style of chip, and it's like you are correct. Anybody can do it. And Apple just did a good job doing it basically. But like if you look at like Microsoft has already done it. That's what's in their Surfaces, which Surfaces are kind of terrible in my opinion.
Services are absolute garbage, not gonna lie.
There are some people that like them. I can think of one specifically, but I think they're pretty terrible.
Name drop right now.
Nope. Nope.
I will say the services for being like a Windows computer, they're the only for being a Microsoft computer, they're the only good Microsoft computers.
Yeah, well, I mean they're like the only Microsoft computer.
Yeah, but like let's like they don't suck, I would say, but like they're just better options.
I will say the interesting thing is that like whenever they go with that different style of chip, there's like the benefits that they get is like similar power with like extreme like power savings. So like
Yeah.
you can get the same amount of work done and use a lot less battery. So the batteries usually last a lot longer, and you get a lot tighter integration, which means that everything kind of runs a little smoother, you know,
Mhm.
assuming you do it right. Which Apple having gone out and done it means that everybody else is going to start to do it now basically.
I feel like, and I know it's more it like for at least right now for like Intel and AMD, it makes more sense to keep it to like laptops.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'd love to see what they could do with the desktop though. I would love to see.
Honestly, that style of chip is designed for like battery operated devices.
Well, yeah,
and
but
power
I mean,
savings.
but that Apple still did it with their Macs, like not their MacBooks, not their laptops. They did it with their Macs.
That's
it-
just because right now
Really good.
so they're running into a problem with the like big name chips, the AMD and the Intel chips right now, and that's that in order to get more power out of them, or I mean, I guess I guess power is the right word. I'm using it in two different ways, so it's kind of hard to explain. But like in order to get more performance, that's what I'm looking for. In order to get
Yeah.
more performance out of them, they're having to push the power usage to insane levels. And it's like until the engineering gets better, which I'm sure they're working on it, you know. But it's just like until it gets the engineering like actually comes up with something better, basically they're just using more and more power to push their performance harder. And since that other style of chip uses so little power, they have a lot more space to kind of grow the chips and push them harder.
That's my point though, is that I wouldn't say right now they're ready, but I want to see what they can do.
Yeah, and I
with
think
desktop.
the other big problem is Windows isn't really designed to run there. Like Apple, like they can integrate really well. That's like what they're good at is like integrating.
Yeah.
But like they can redesign their software to run on their chip. It's like that's fine. But like in order for Microsoft to make Windows work decently on that style of chip, there's a lot of work to do still.
Don't worry though. Once Windows 11 is the only thing, when everyone will be going to Linux.
True.
At least I will.
Linux is just better. Linux already works great on ARM chips.
I don't want to commit yet, but I know I will eventually.
One day it's coming.
That day is coming soon. First episode of the podcast, we mentioned that I was going to do a video about it, and you know it hasn't happened, and I don't know if it ever will
That
until
was
a few
several months
years
ago.
Yeah, that was in May, and we were going to do it in May, and it's August, almost September.
Speaking of things that didn't happen, we're just gonna not mention the fact that there was no guest.
Oh, we forgot about that the entire time. Yeah. We may have said that a guest was going to come on, but we didn't name drop him, so it's okay.
Yeah, he might make an appearance eventually still, but
Yes.
we gotta get our footing more on scheduling. We talked about that a little bit last week, but getting into a consistent schedule
Also,
and actually getting stuff done.
He also wasn't out of town all weekend. You probably saw his announcement that he streamed on Sunday.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I guess we just didn't think about it again. But don't worry, nobody made it far enough to actually hear that.
You're right. I only listened to about 10 minutes of the last one.
Yeah.
So nobody knew that was happening anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's
looks
fine.
like we are bumping into time here, and it's my week to close us out.
Wait, is that how that works now?
Yeah, we're alternating. Remember, you closed us out last week, and I
Well-
closed out the first one.
Well, you wouldn't shut up last week. That's the reason.
What? I thought, honestly, I was going to be a little more chatty this time, but I was running out of steam really quick.
I ran out of steam at like 14 minutes.
Me too, honestly, dude.
But we did just kind of once we ran out of our topics, we just kind of talked, and I enjoyed this. I feel like this isn't a terrible episode.
Yeah, we kept it rolling, kept the ball rolling.
It's better than last week.
I don't know why I like using that expression, rolling, but
You didn't let me talk about how Twitch is not allowing multi-streaming, though. I was trying to fit that in, and you didn't let me.
oh, did I move on too fast for you?
Yes.
Sorry.
You should be.
Any closing remarks before I move on again and end the show?
So basically, guys, if you haven't already, I have a really good YouTube video on my channel. It was when I went to Disney World. So if you haven't watched it yet,
He's gonna
go over to youtube.com/thebeastgaming. It's not actually that because I'm not big enough to have my own URL. But just search The Beast Gaming in the search tab, and I'm finally no longer attacked by Mr. Beast Gaming being the top search. It's actually me, so you'll see me.
Crazy.
If you put Beast Gaming, you will get Mr. Beast Gaming. But if you put the Beast, because I'm the only one, I'm the Beast Gaming. I'm not Beast Gaming. I'm not I'm the Beast Gaming. So, but if you do that, you will find me.
Self-promote. Okay, cool. I don't have anything to self-promote because my only video is terrible. Maybe one day there'll be something else out there to watch.
Maybe one day.
Anyway, we're gonna keep trying to do this once a week release schedule as long as we can. I don't know. We'll see. Next week's gonna be tough because it's a holiday weekend, but I'm gonna say we're still gonna try. So
I will not be back until late Monday next week.
we could probably make it work. It's just gonna be really tight.
So basically, it's gonna suck for me.
Yeah, but you can handle it. I mean, listen to your voice.
Dude, I'm so dead right now. I hope anybody who was actually able to deal with my voice, congratulations, you've done it.
Anyways, thanks everybody for listening to the General Grievous podcast. This has been episode 3, and we'll be back next week.
I'm gonna make this episode 4, and we're gonna record episode 3 next week, just to spite you.